What is up? Happy Monday evening. It is game week. Game week, game week, game week. Let's go. Can y'all feel it? Are y'all energized? Come on now. We got it. If you're going to be at the shoe, you might as well just get pumped up now and get it flowing. All right. And let that just be the overflow for Saturday. But we are excited, pumped up. And listen, do me the favor. Like the video, like, and subscribe if you have not done so already. All right. We appreciate that. Now, listen. It is 5 days left before the game, but I know I unloaded on y'all last night with a bunch of numbers, and I still forgot one, and I have to show them love real quick before I move on to number 5. And that number 6 that I forgot to put on, I don't know if it was going to be 1A or 1B, but it's C. Grant. I had the picture, I had everything loaded. I'm like, how did I miss this? But it was a lot I went through, and a lot of it was off the top of the head. So C. Grant, brother, if you out there, we love you and appreciate you. You are a love the Buckeye. I will never forget this play, ever. I was in Roosters off of Broad Street, east side of Columbus, in Roosters with a couple of friends watching this game. And we exploded in that Roosters bar when you made this tackle, when you ragdolled Dorsey like you did, brother. Memories upon memories upon memories. And then on top of that, the cherry on top, C, Grant, is that you had the nerve to bless us with the Carmen, Ohio serenade. How firm thy friendship. I can't sing. Ohio. That was terrible, wasn't it? Well, C. Grant actually sings it beautifully. Go look it up on YouTube. Killed it. Sir, you are a gentleman and a scholar. We love you. And we just wanted to show love because I missed you last night putting this up. So C. Grant was a part of my 6 days last night. So let's get to the 5 days, okay? So 1A has to be freaking Braxton Miller. I mean, it's just this. Come on, dog. Braxton Miller is literally responsible for a lot of the quote-unquote new fans we've acquired over the years. This kid, that spin move at Virginia Tech literally brought on about at least 250,000 new fans at the Buckeye Nation. Like, this kid is just phenomenal. Great player, great guy, and just an icon. So I had to go with Braxton first. And then the 1B, I'm going to go with Garrett Wilson. Dog, originally from here in the Columbus area, Dublin, I believe. Moved down to Texas and then came back up to Ohio State and obviously is killing it in the league. Stud and just one of the many studs that we've put in the NFL for wide receivers. Great number 5. And then I'm going to go with 1C. I'm going to show Chimdi Chekwa some love. I was able to meet Chimdi Chekwa at a charity event for Ohio State about a month ago, actually Coach Devin Jordan's event. Great guy. I've talked to Bryant Browning before, his partner with the podcast. They have a great show. They're in the media here locally in Columbus. They do a great job. Humble dude, just a solid cat. He was a really athletic, really good corner here at Ohio State. So showing Chimdi some love. And then as my honorable mention, I'm pulling up Jeff Hireman here. I went with Jeff Hireman. I could have went with Raekwon McMillan. I love Raekwon, but I've showed him love before. I'm going with Jeff Hireman after my rant about the tight ends and how important they are in the blocking game last night. And for those who watched, okay, if you missed it, go back and watch. We also showed the fullbacks love. Jeff Hireman was a very, very, very important part of that blocking tight end. You know, when Urban was here, he was very, very good. Wasn't perfect because there's one play that, you know, I know that Nevada's probably going to bring up, but overall, he was really, really good, and he played in the NFL for some years. I don't know if he's still in the NFL now. I need to check the roster. But I wanted to show Hireman some love because he was a very solid tight end here at the Ohio State University. Nevada, I'm bringing you in, sir. What do you think about my number 5 and pulling C. Grant up from missing him yesterday?
Yeah, no, number 6 was there in person, and everybody that was there in person remembers him coming off the edge there untouched and getting Dorsey, and just for a split second, Dorsey gets that ball off and throws it in the end zone, and you're like, oh, please don't
Right.
be caught. And
Yeah.
Donnie Nicky dropped the ball, which was kind of interesting for Donnie Nicky's thing, but considering Donnie Nicky went on to play 12 years in the NFL, but no, yeah, great play.
Yeah.
Braxton Miller at 5. Yeah, he's the penultimate number 5 for sure. Um, yeah, just a great player, a guy that, I'm not saying he saved Ohio State, but we always talk about those times when you could have gone into the abyss, like every other program's gone to the abyss, and we were staring at it, and Braxton Miller's brilliance pulled us out of the abyss. So, I mean, I'm not saying one guy ever does it, but if you had to say what one
It
guy,
would be him.
it
Yes,
might be
I agree.
Braxton Miller. So,
I agree.
uh, yeah, he was special. Garrett Wilson. I mean, I'm sure you saw Terry McLaurin got paid 32 million a
Yep.
year.
Yep.
Garrett Wilson. I mean, life is good for wide receivers right now. If you're an Ohio State wide receiver, it's especially good because those guys are going to be getting paid 40-50 million dollars a year here going forward. And like I said, yeah, Terry wanted 33 million a year, has settled for 32. Garrett, I think he's like 40 million a year, but those guys are getting paid and
Yeah.
rightfully so. Chimdy, loved him, thought he was a great underrated player at Ohio State, and you're doing a really nice job with this podcast. Really good in the media. Not everybody's good at that because
Right.
it's a special skill, but he definitely has it. And really good guy, really smart guy, and a guy we should get on the show sometime as well. And then Hireman, yeah, I'm not going to talk about Hireman's worst moment. I'm going to settle his for his best moments there. And
Good.
I mean, hey, we're not defined by our worst moments in life, but he certainly had some high points. And like you
Yeah.
said, had a nice NFL career as well, and just a great guy. I mean, just a really stand-up guy. And yeah, another in a long line of the tradition of OSU. I mean, let's face it, we're pretty much we talk about are we DBU, are we running back U, are we QBU, are we wide receiver U? I mean, we're everything U. We're,
Yes,
now
we
we're,
are.
we're everything U. I mean, the only thing I don't think we are. I mean, maybe punters, maybe
Yeah.
punters. That's not been. I mean,
Yeah.
even
We're
long
not
snap.
punter you.
We're not punter U. We're not
No.
punter U. But other than that, we're pretty much everything U.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. I mean, I know instantly the past, what, 10 years span, we struggle with the quarterback position, but I think we're rolling now. I mean, because the reality with that position that used to annoy me is like, wait a minute, there's not any school that's just consistently overly dominating with QBs. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know USC had a run. I'm just saying, like, overall, it's just like, it's not like one school, but like 5 straight Hall of Fame QBs. But anyway, we're coming on with that as well. So yeah, man, we've been killing it in the league. But yeah, good responses to the numbers, man. These are always fun, and I enjoyed it. And we only got what 4 of them left, and we still got some really good numbers. I mean, some great numbers. I mean, to like the cream of the crop. We're in it now. We're in the midst of it. So should be fun. But yeah, before we even get to the topic, I wanted to say, also remind y'all, our super chats go to our pay it forward military first responders. We're going to take care of them because they take care of us. But I was going to say, Nevada, before we jump into the topic of the game day, I've been watching the previews are coming out, the picks from the national media and all those sites, they're coming out. They're all picking Texas, all Texas, except for maybe one. RJ Young picked Ohio State. Everybody else is picking Texas, which I'm fine with. Listen, I'm not even mad about it. I understand it. Like, this is a tough game. Like, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like it's ridiculous to. I think it's ridiculous to pick a blowout that Texas is going to come here and blow us out. But I don't think it's ridiculous to pick Texas. I'm just saying that people are picking Texas. And I was texting with a coach yesterday on the staff, obviously, and we were talking about that, and they were saying basically they hear the noise, they hear what's going on, they see it, and it was just like, yeah, they know, they know, and so it's motivation is already there. It's a big game, but when you're the defending, sorry Ryan Day for saying defending national champion, you're at home and you got all the talent that you have. And yes, obviously we got to break in new starters and all that other stuff. We get that. Texas lost a lot too, but it's still a little disrespectful, to them. And they're fired up, man. They love the disrespect. It's set up so beautifully because typically a defending national champion that's bringing back a lot of talent, usually doesn't get this type of disrespect, but hey, it plays into our hands perfectly. Come on to this snake pit arch on Saturday because we're gonna be ready. Nevada, what you got?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I mean, I'd rather have it that way than the other way. I mean, if everybody was
Yeah,
saying Ohio State's going to win, I hate that. I hate that when when we're like super chalky to win the game.
yeah,
Because because I do, I think that look, we're all humans, and it's inevitable that when everybody's picking you, and maybe you get just a tiny bit complacent, or the other team comes in with with an edge because everybody's picking against them, and they feel like they've got nothing to lose, their backs against the wall. Well, I mean, how often has it been ever in the history of Ohio State where everybody's been picking the other team and we're the home team? You know what
right.
I'm saying? Like that doesn't
Exactly.
happen often. So this is kind of a unique situation for the Buckeyes to be in. I know Vegas has still got them as the favorite, even though that line's starting to close. I think it's
Yeah.
moved from like 3 to 1.5 or something like that. But I think it's a setup spot for the Buckeyes personally. I really like the way that it's come together. I love the way that fall camp's coming, and I just think that this team, I think they're going to come out firing a lot faster than people think they're going to, and I think that's going to be a little surprising to a Texas team that look, we lost 14 guys in the NFL draft. They lost 12, so it's
Right.
not like they lost 9 starters off their offense. They were returning 2 starters off their offense.
That's
So like I mean, for people, everybody want to talk about how much we lost for. They lost a ton too, and
yeah.
they're coming into Columbus, and good luck. I mean, that's it's gonna be a very, very challenging environment for them to play in.
Yeah, and I was talking to my group chat about that earlier, man. It's just like because we were looking at the numbers, it's like 81% to 89% like production lost. And like it's when you go through the stats, it's very even. They're very similar in the sense that they both lost a lot. There's a lot of question marks. Even with Arch, there's question marks, y'all. Yes, Texas people out here watching this, because I know y'all watch the podcast. Because I've seen y'all do podcasts on our show before, responding to our show. We're not saying Arch isn't a really good player. He's talented. Like we have to account for him and play great D and keep him on his toes. But the fact remains that he has not seen this before. He's never started in a game like this. So there's a question mark there. Can we say that the question mark is a little less intense than saying because he's never started a game? Yes, I agree. But y'all got questions on that offensive line too. I mean, there's questions on the defensive line as well. Sure, you plug some with some guys you believe are really good. Questions. We got questions. You got questions. You got to come here. You know what I'm saying? So it just seems like Nevada, these things, these question marks are being kind of glossed over with Texas versus Ohio State are just being highlighted. And it's just like, okay, I mean, that's fine, whatever. Look, it don't matter. If this sets up for us to be even more hungry on game day, then so be it. It's just it's just kind of annoying, to kind of see the analysis is like, come on, dog. Like, but whatever. I love it. Like I said, I'm gonna belabor the point. These boys will be ready. Trust and believe. They will be ready to play. And I believe our crowd will be ready. And I know there's been question marks about the crowd. We're going to get into the game day atmosphere shortly, to kind of segue into that. But I'm excited. And then of course, listen, I've been on my weather update this past week. I started a little thread on the scoop board about the weather. I'm here in the city, and I'm just like, look, like Nevada today, it was 75 the last time I sent an update. It was 70 today, like as far as the projection. So it's funny how it's fluctuating, but it's going to be beautiful and perfect on that day, regardless the way it's trending. So we ready, man.
Well, look, one, I love the weather being, I like the weather not being a factor. I like the weather not being 90 degrees
Right.
or something like that. Or, I think it's going to be a perfect day. I mean, ideal for a game and fitting for a game this big. But I want to get back in the Manning thing just for a second. I mean, the one thing people gloss over about Manning, yeah, he's started a couple of games in college. In high school, what do you play it? Newman, Isidore Newman High School in New Orleans or something like that. Some tiny
Something
little
like that.
school. I mean, Julian Saint You know what I'm
You
saying?
cut.
Like that.
Oh, you're back. You're back. You cut out a little bit.
Yeah, no, I mean Carlsbad's the real deal.
Yeah.
And it's like, like they play like real schools and play against real teams in Southern California. And yeah, I mean, how I feel about Southern California quarterbacks. About getting there's a reason why USC is just feasted on those guys for so many years. But like, I mean, everybody's just glazing Arch over playing some tiny little school. I mean, I just don't know. I mean, I have question marks about Arch Manning. Now, I reserve the right to change my mind. He may come out and look like Joe Montana on Saturday, and we may be podcasting on Sunday or whatever it is, and I'm like, that guy looks like Joe Montana. You know what I'm saying? Like he's really, 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 really special. Um, or he may soil himself. You know what I'm saying? We don't know what he's going to do, but I like. I'll take Julian Sain's level of competition that he faced in high school all day long, playing in big stadiums, playing against against D1 recruits every week,
Yeah.
and not having played Louisiana Monroe versus Arch Manning and his Louisiana Monroe game, and then 4 years of terrible. I mean, literally terrible competition in high school. So I think Julian's going to surprise me. If you're a Texas fan, you're like, oh, Julian Saints inexperienced. He's not going to look inexperienced, man. I'm telling you, he may make mistakes. But this kid is wise beyond his years. He's mature beyond his years, and he's played in big games. He's played against the best that you can
Yeah.
play against in Southern California. He's not going to be intimidated in terms of going out there. The speed's not going to be too much for him. Um, you know, we'll see. I mean, all the chatter is going to stop on Saturday, and we're gonna get it on. But I'm excited to see what Julian can do against Arch and his first and Arch's really first big road type of environment that he's ever played in,
Yeah.
and we'll see how he does.
Yeah, real quick on Julian saying I was watching a Texas shout out to my guy Jeff Rubel. He sent me a clip of a Texas podcast. They were talking about the line going down, Nevada, and then one of the dudes was like, "Yeah, the line is going down because they announced the quarterback, and that's Vegas telling us that they know the quarterback that Ryan Day may be regretting his decision about the quarterback." And
Oh boy, oh boy,
I was like, all
yeah.
right, bro. I was like, you got it, you got it. Whatever you said, you got the juice. But that was silly. To be fair, most Texas podcasters aren't that goofy. They've been decent, solid, but that was ridiculous. I wanted to call that out. But yeah. So with Arch, let's be honest, y'all. Again, Texas people, we think Arch is talented, but his last name is Manning. If his last name wasn't Manning, would he be getting this praise and this anointed, process of anointing him already before he does anything if his last name wasn't Manning? It's a fair question. So, just putting it out there, but we're going to find out. We're going to see. Like Nevada said, he can come in the shoe and just absolutely just moonwalk all over the defense. We'll see. It's yet to be seen. That's all we're saying. So anyway, let's get to this game day atmosphere, Nevada. I kind of fresh myself up with some of the updates, and I got it pulled up and stuff like that to refer to. But it's a few things that are interesting. But I wanted you to kick it off, man. Like, because I know you've been looking at it. What do you want to start off with that I would say that you think is a good thing about these updates, these new game day updates that Ross Bjork a few weeks ago announced at his press conference?
Well, I'm going to first off say I think they're all good. I think every single one of them is good. There's nothing bad about this from my perspective. And you guys got to, I don't know how much you guys know. I mean, I'm sure most of you guys kind of know a little bit about my background, but my background, you know, is professional sports, primarily minor league sports, with a specialty in minor league baseball. So when you talk about game day experience, game day environment, and that stuff, that's like that's the proverbial fastball for me because I'm all about that. I'm all about finding different ways to because in minor league baseball, you have to remember you can't control the product on the field because you don't know what your major league team is going to give you every year. You could be terrible every year. You could be good. You could if you have somebody that's good, they're going to get pulled up to the next level. So you can't build around a player. You have no franchise player, and so what do you concentrate on? You concentrate on everything else. You concentrate on the in between game, the on-field promotions, the giveaways, the cleanliness of the bathrooms, the friendliness of the ushers, the tastiness of the food. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that you get. So when Ross Brook talked about changes to the Stadium experience, I was like, there's music to my ears, because I have felt for years that while we have a lot of tradition, I think that we and our fans are certainly capable of rising up and delivering that A+ type of game experience. I don't think we do it enough. I don't think that we're not a consistently difficult place for the opposing teams to play. And if you ask opposing teams, they'll tell you that. I mean, sometimes like last year against Indiana, the fans brought it. You know what I'm saying? And the Indiana guys are like, man, that was incredibly difficult to even hear yourself breathe. The Tennessee game, the fans brought it, But then there's other games where, whether it be a team getting ahead of us, or there's a nervous tension, or that's
Yeah.
not the game's not determined to be big enough, or whatever it is, and the fans just kind of go to sleep, and it becomes a very sleepy place for 105, 106,000 people, and that should just never happen. So what Ross Bjork has done is, they've gone out and they've canvassed and spoken to and looked at all the best game day experiences around the country, and they're trying to figure out what can they bring to Ohio Stadium that doesn't mess with the tradition of Ohio State, because they know that there's going to be pushback from a lot of fans, because a lot of fans are going to be like, I like it every time when we do the same when we do the same thing, and if you change
Mhm.
anything, it's going to upset me. And so he's got to walk a really fine line in terms of doing it. But they learned some stuff from the Tennessee game, because I don't know how much you guys know, but the Tennessee game, the game day presentation, and everything was not run by Ohio State that night. That was
Right.
run by the College Football Playoff Committee, and we've all talked about how that environment was better. That was one of the best environments that we've ever been, at. And some of that was the lights, some of that was the music, some of that was just the fans just bringing it every down, every play. But they're going to go with some there's some practical changes they're making. They're consolidating the student sections, putting them all together into one massive student section instead of splitting them up. They're moving the band, I believe, into the north stands, I believe that
Yeah.
it is.
North.
And they're going to put the band there. And then they're going to do some different things with cut down on the introductions between possessions and things like that. The stuff that kind of slows the game down, that's the stuff that's the energy sucker out of the game.
Yeah.
And one of the things that they're doing, which I'm telling you, I really like this idea. I really like this idea. I've seen it done. It's a variation of it's a very common theme, but if this is executed properly, this can become kind of one of the signature things at the stadium. But they're gonna give virtual um, Buckeye leaves to the
Yeah.
crowd whenever they cause a procedure penalty or a delay a game penalty on the opposing offense. And that may sound stupid to you, and that may sound dumb. I'm telling you, I love it. That's a variation of the noise meter, or any of the other things that you kind of see at some of the other stadiums, the indoor stadiums primarily. Um, People love to be told and told when to cheer. They do. It's a natural thing,
Yeah.
because nobody wants to be the only guy up there cheering. So people will cheer collectively. It's definitely a group activity. But when you have a group activity and then it's featured towards a goal, like, if the guy misses both free throws, you get a free hot dog at the thing, or whatever the thing is.
Yeah.
The virtual Buckeye leaves for the crowd, so it can kind of measure how many Buckeye leaves did we get for that. We got 5 for that game, or our record 7, or whatever it is. I love this idea. I love this idea. And so I think, for the Texas game, I think they're gonna get people particularly jacked up for stuff like that. And I've seen this done at other state. I've say again, I've seen it's a variation of a very they're not breaking any new ground. It's a lot of teams do this. But I think for the Buckets, I think this could be the thing. This could be the thing that everybody gets really excited about, to kind of measure how good how many Buckeye leaves do we get that game, You know what I'm saying? Like that's how they'll kind of measure the crowd intensity, the crowd noise, and the crowd things like that. But the Buckeye Leagues for penalties on the offense really like that one, and that's something I'm really interested to see how they do that in practice.
Yeah, I love it too, man. And I'm reading. Here's the description, real quick. In an effort to make Ohio Stadium even more intimidating, every time a visiting team's offense commits a false start penalty or burns a timeout, remember that's another one too, y'all. Because of crowd noise, Buckeye Nation will be awarded with a Buckeye leaf. A visual representation of the stadium receiving a Buckeye leaf will be shown on the video board's display, along with fixed signage in front of the Block O section to keep track of the number of Buckeye leaves earned throughout the season. Yeah, that's dope. Because you just imagine, the crowd is roaring. We cause a timeout or a false start, and then they, announce, if you look to the scoreboard, Buckeye Nation has earned a Buckeye leaf or whatever. You know how they talk, and it's just even more. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. I can see that just juicing it up even more. So I love the potential of that. Really, really getting the crowd going as well. And I agree, Nevada. It's little stuff like that, man. Yeah, some people may think it's silly, but it's not. It's not. It's going to be good. And so hopefully we can get a false start or a timeout going, to really try it on for size in this game. So I agree with you wholeheartedly, Nevada, on this one.
Well, it just, I mean, the visual representation, you've seen like the thing where they track like strikeouts and they have the Ks and they put them over every time somebody strikes out at the thing. And you see the big long line of Ks or you see the big long line of Buckeye Leafs now for the thing in terms
Hmm.
of doing it. I mean, again, it's, it's little things like that. But man, I'm telling you, that stuff can really make a difference. And it's amazing how different things catch on. I can't remember which college baseball team it is, but like when an opposing pitcher like throws a ball, they'll start counting out like one, two, and then every time he throws another ball, they'll go two, and then three, and they'll start. And like pitchers get so rattled, they'll throw like 10, 12 balls in a row because the entire crowd's like screaming at them, like
Yeah.
11, 12. So it's like, um, I mean, stuff like that. It'll be interesting to see what kind of catches on. But you know, um, I love crowd encouraging noise stuff because that's something that can impact the game, man. That's something that can help. That's something that can really make a difference. And I don't think Ohio State's done enough of that. You do that at NBA stadiums when you have a DJ or when you have a solid mascot or whatever it is. And Ohio State doesn't really do the DJ thing too much. Except for DJ Scat Cat, brought that in there. The mascot, Brutus is more. Yeah, I always, like a mascot can serve a number of different things. He can be an on-field performer. He can be a crowd inciter, cheerleader. He can be a greeter. There's a number of different functions that he can do. And Brutus is just kind of, Brutus kind of plays around and does stuff like that. But it's not really to bring the crowd into the game. And even the cheerleaders try, but something like this, I'm telling you, I really think this is going to catch on. I really think this virtual Buckeye League thing is going to catch on. But the second thing they're doing, which I like, again, little thing. Not they're saying they're going to do this, and you're like, oh well, yeah, duh. But they're giving out 100,000 towels at the
Mm,
game,
yeah.
and getting people to wear the towels. And I'm telling you, as a Cleveland Brown fan, and we've all had to sit there and watch the stupid Pittsburgh with their terrible towel and waving that stuff and doing that. It's intimidating as heck when they get the stadium going
And
and
it
they're
looks
all waving.
good. It looks
It
good
looks
visually.
good, man. It looks really, really
Yeah.
good. And it gives people something to do. And there's you can't wave your towel from where you're sitting down. You know what I'm saying? Because you
Yeah.
just hit yourself in the face with it and stuff. So you almost got to stand up, which again gets them standing up. When you're standing up and you're waving the towel, now you're making noise. You're waving the towel. It's a visual representation. It looks great on television. It's just everything about that. I like that idea again. Simple idea. It's not like, oh wow, Ohio State invented an idea. We're going to bring towels, but I'm telling you, stuff like that can make a difference. Stuff like that can really help. And I think for the Texas atmosphere, we talk about this noon game atmosphere at Texas. I
Yeah.
think with just those, if that's all you did was the virtual Buckeye leaves and the towels, I think I think you're gonna see a difference. I guarantee you, for people that have been there for years, you're gonna go and you're gonna go, wow, that was one of the funner games. That was one of the things. It's just little stuff like that. It's caring about doing it that Ohio State just hasn't done this in so long. As long as I've been an Ohio State fan, it's like it's totally been incumbent upon the fans to generate the noise and bring the heat. Now Ohio State's kind of getting into the year 2025 and realizing that the fans need a little help, they need a little assistance, they need a little guidance, and they're ready to provide it. And I think it's going to pay big dividends on August 30th.
Yeah, man, I agree. So I actually had a towel, like my homie's group called King, in my bag, and I was thinking to myself, look at this. You sitting down. This don't look good sitting down. Like, I just hit myself in the face. See how goofy that is? You got it makes you stand up. You gotta stand up. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, maybe some of the older people will sit down, but you're right, Nevada. You can't just sit down casually, waving a towel. It's weak. So you're right, man. This incites energy, and I like it. It's simple, but I like it. Okay, so now I'm gonna jump on one I want to talk about, if you don't mind, unless you had another one you wanted to say.
I'm gonna let you go because so whatever idea you come up with or you talk about, I can like criticize it or say it's a bad idea.
Speaking of criticizing, listen, man, I was annoyed by this because, and listen, folks, there's a lesson in this. This is why before you react, and thankfully I didn't go tweet, I didn't go post, I didn't react, but I was told by someone who wrote a scathing article that they were doing away with Hang On Sloopy in the stadium, right? They were taking it away, from the third quarter tradition. Until I went and read the actual quotes and article from Bjork. And it simply says, Hang On Sloopy will still echo through Ohio Stadium. While it has traditionally been a third quarter break moment, this year the band will have flexibility, keyword, to play it in the second half when the energy and timing feel right. The tradition remains, just with a little more instinct and impact behind it. We know fans care deeply about this moment, and so does Ohio State Athletics. This adjustment is about keeping it powerful, memorable, and perfectly timed. So, Nevada, I was irritated because I was seeing this article posted and people reacted to it like Bjork is ruining Ohio State and whatever, and they're taking away Hang On Sloopy. I'm like, what are y'all talking about? That can't be, because listen, Nevada, I love Hang On Sloopy, love it. Okay, and so I was a little upset at first, like, man, hold on, man. But I don't like reacting fully or just kind of like saying anything until I go research, because folk be lying. It's just people who just lie, or they just take something and just take it out of context and just build a narrative off of it. We just see it too often. With that said, I went and read the article and these quotes. I'm just like, okay, they're not getting rid of it, and that does make sense because I don't want Hang On Sloopy to be pigeonholed. Yes, I understand it's a tradition and people are used to that repetitive nature, but I want to hear Hang On Sloopy in other, moments, powerful moments of a game, like a key play is coming up and it's a timeout. I don't want to not play Hang On Sloopy because it's pigeonholed to one spot. And also, people who are upset about this, it's not saying they still won't play it, at the end of the third quarter. It's just saying it won't be limited to that. So I wanted to bring that out, Nevada, and get your thoughts on that, because people, man, they just be taking stuff and just running with it without really sticking to the actual facts of what was said.
Well, first of all, okay, you understand the narrative. Ross Bork is the devil. You know what I'm saying,
Yes.
like that. He's the reason we don't get recruits. He doesn't want us to win. He doesn't understand the thing. He's taken away hang on slip. So that's very fashionable for the lowest common denominator to go. Like, if you any of I mean, that's just a narrative that people love to feed into, and none of it's true. But people are going to be what they be. But I got a question. I'm gonna turn around and ask you a question.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, you've never been to Oregon, I take it.
No.
Okay. Have you ever been to Wisconsin?
No, but I may be going this year, but I have
Okay.
not.
Okay. So like obviously you've seen it on TV, but when Wisconsin does jump around between or when Oregon does shout, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's amazing. It's
Yeah.
amazing. It's amazing. You know what I'm saying? And I I personally, yeah. Now, again, stuff like this has got to be organic. It's, like when I had a hockey team in Las Vegas, predated the Golden Knights by about 20 years. And our goal song, you always have a goal song whenever you do whatever. And ours was Whoomp, there it is. And it just took over. And it was like, that was like the goal song. And we had another one in Portland, and it was yeah, Thunderstruck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like there's all sorts of different things that you can kind of do, but they have to happen kind of you know on their own.
Yeah,
But
organically, like you said. Yeah.
we need a song, man. And I mean, Hang On Sloopy's cool, okay, but does that really jack you up like does that jack you up like the way that Shout does or the way that Jump Around does at Wisconsin, where the entire stadium is shaking? I mean, it doesn't for me, but I'd love to hear your perspectives on it.
No, that's a good point. So to me, in my opinion, I think that's two different animals. I think Hang On Sloopy and that tradition is different than the Oregon and Wisconsin. Like they're two different animals to me. Like to your point, Hang On Sloopy can't compare to those. Not saying Hang On Sloopy is not great. It's great. It's just not the same type of vibe. So we would need like a song like that to organically produce a tradition on that level, but still have Hang On Sloopy, the band playing in parts of the game. Like to me, that would be a both and situation. We just need to find a suitable song. You know what I'm saying? So I guess that's kind of my answer is that no, Hang On Sloopy is not that vibe. It's a vibe that we love. It's a great vibe. I mean, it is a historic, like, yo, that's my stuff vibe. But it's not quite the same as what you're describing with Wisconsin and Oregon. Those are two different things. And so, yes, we would need to organically come up with something that's not forced, that could be, something in the stadium that's just like sets it on fire. So, yes, that's my answer. And I hope that made sense.
No, it does, and the problem is it's become kind of our third quarter, fourth quarter song, and I
Yeah.
agree with you. I don't think it fits. That's not where it fits. You know what I'm saying, like that. Um, and I just I think that people are so wedded to this. I think there's going to be resistance from any song you try to bring up for like to try to find your one, because you need to find something that's got like Ohio roots, but it's a banger that you know what I'm saying? Like there's
Yeah.
a lot of things that kind of go into it, and it's just got to kind of happen. And it's hard, you know what I'm saying? Like that. But I worry that we're so wedded to Hang On Sloopy as that thing. I think it is. I totally agree with you. I think it's pigeonholed in that end of the third quarter, fourth quarter thing. And I think it's not it doesn't get people moving the way that you'd like to go, and we could get people moving where there's, I mean, if they play that funky music, White Boy, you know what I'm saying, like that, the guys from Steubenville, you know what I'm saying, like you've got
Yeah.
Ohio roots there, and the whole stadium was like dancing and stuff like that. That would be nuts to me. Like I'd see that, I'd be like, but the problem is I don't think anybody's got the courage to play something like that in terms of doing
Right.
it, because I think people are going to lose their mind. I think Ohio Stadium's, they're so wedded to these traditions that I'm not sure they could get behind anything. I mean, even Michigan has that stupid Mr. Brightside thing, which
Terrible.
is terrible. I mean, because especially when you know what that song's about, that's perfect for
I
Michigan to be
heard.
singing. We're
Yes.
singing about, yeah. It's like, I mean, like, guys, you understand what the lyrics are about, you idiots. But yeah, I just think we need a song. But this leads me to my next point, which is that I want to ask your opinion on this as well.
Yeah.
Again, another idea. They're taking this from other places. Seattle Seahawks do this, before the game, where they have the 12th man, and at Golden Knights games in Vegas, they have a guy come out and crank the siren. They have some people come out and hit the gong to start the game. Well, Ohio State's going to have somebody come out and ring the victory bell before the game. And now for this game, it's going to be Archie Griffin. They're
Yeah.
doing it, but the idea is to every game you bring in somebody big and they ring the victory bell before the game turns into it. And I love that idea. I love the idea because we already have the victory bell. We already have, and I'll give you a little thing. Do you know who rang the victory bell after the 2006 Ohio State Michigan game? The
I have no idea.
2006 one versus two.
I
It
remember the
was
game, but I have no
it was
idea.
it was Nevada Buck rang the victory bell.
Are you serious?
I rang the victory bell. I actually,
What?
I was on the field as the game ended. I went up the tunnel and we have a thing where we had donated stuff to the media room, which is in there. So I got in and we climbed up the little rafters up the thing and
Yeah,
rang the victory. We rang the victory bell after that. Was Nevada Bike ringing the victory bell after the
man.
thing.
How have you not told that story more? I mean, you should that should be in your biography. Like
I'm not
that
kidding you.
should
That happened because that was 'cause I didn't even this is I'm embarrassed to say this. I didn't even know there was a victory bell. I didn't knew nothing about this. And somebody's like, we should go ring the victory bell. I'm like, dude, I'm so on. Let's go right
that's
now.
dope.
And we ran up there after that 2016, and I was ringing that thing like crazy. But to start the thing off, and you bring out an Ohio State legend, and you whether it be an ex-player, whether it be somebody from Ohio, whatever it is, and they're ringing the bell beforehand, and people are going crazy again, little things executed, just execute it right, and it can really make a big difference and get people into it. But I know some people are freaking out about that. Like, we're only supposed to ring the victory bell afterwards. It's like, it's not the point. It's a call to action for
Right.
everybody before the game. Like, this is what we do in terms of doing it. I like that idea. Wanted to know what your opinion was on that.
Yeah, I love the idea. And again, it's just listen. I'm not saying people can't have their own opinion. I'm not saying that, but to me, it's just like people just be saying stuff without context. Like to your point, because like the first reaction I saw some people say was like, "It's how you gonna ring the victory bell when we haven't had the victory yet?" It's just called the victory bell. Like that's the name of the bell. It's the victory bell. So it's we're not declaring victory before the game is over. It's just the name of the bell. So you know what I'm saying? This is like let's get it cracking. Like you said, a call to action. And so people get caught up into just semantics and just goofy stuff. They miss the overall point. So I love it. And I see here that Archie will also help select future bell ringers. He'll be the ambassador, which I love. So yeah, it's great, man. It's great. Like that's a nice touch. And it's not just about the bell ringing, but who's ringing the bell, who that brings honor to it and prestige. So I love it. I have no problem with it. I love it.
Yeah, no, I mean, again, it's at these other places. It's such a tradition. I mean, when you go to a Vegas a Golden Knights game, it's like a big tradition, and they get big stars to come out there and ring a thing for Ohio State football. Can you imagine? You can get mega stars to come out
Yeah.
and do this thing because you're only doing it 8 times a year, 7, 8 times a year,
Right.
and what an honor. You're not going to dot the I, but you can ring the victory bell before the game and bring the thing in, and I'm excited about it. They're doing some other tweaks with the scoreboard, with the soundtrack, in terms of the music that they're going to be playing and doing stuff. But what the best thing about this whole thing to me is they're trying. They're
Yes.
they're trying stuff, and you can like Gene Smith, whatever Gene Smith, whatever. But I just felt like we just stopped trying. We just kind of like we're just going to kind of let Ohio Stadium be and kind of do it. And I'll give Ross Stewart credit. They're trying to build a new private club. They're trying to do this. They're trying to up the do the thing. And it's a fine line when you're at a place that's got as much tradition as Ohio State, and somebody's going to have to take the crap for doing it. And it's going to be Ross. You know what I'm saying? Because change is always, people resist change, man. They don't like it. You change something and people, what are you doing? You're just trampling on the things. But I think if people give this stuff a chance, and I think all these things are going to be, like I said, just wait till Saturday. Wait till Saturday. You see it for yourself, and you'll be like, wow, for the first game, for the first time doing it, I think stuff like that's going to make a big difference. And I think Ohio State can become the place that we all want it to be, which is the most feared venue in college football. That's what it should be. It should be
Yeah.
the place that people come into and go, that is not a pleasant place to play. I do not want to play there. And we haven't always been, we've been that way sometimes, but not every time. And I think stuff like this can help even raise it to another level. And I'm excited to see it and participate in it. I'll wave my towel, I'll stand up, I'll yell, I'll do the whole thing. And I'm excited for it.
Yeah, me too. And I'm looking at the changes with the band. And shout out to my brother Bray, my homie Bray down in Atlanta, Georgia. He came up to the game, to the Akron game with me and the fam. And he was like, "Man, the band I can't really hear the band. You know what I'm saying? It's not loud enough." He was like, "Man, they gotta fix this." So it looks like they're improving I know he's happy about that. They're actually increasing the way they explained it. It's going to move from like the stands to like concrete, which excuse me, amplifies the sound more. And they're doing some things to tweak that, speakers and stuff like that. So yeah, just all of that, man. Just the more of a loud party, raucous atmosphere. And to your point, Nevada, yes, they're trying. The fact that they're trying is great. It's great because we're a blue blood. We have a fan base that's just like, we got some old, some young, whatever, and some of the old, they stuck in their ways, and I get it. It's tradition. I'm not knocking that, but I think we can balance out keeping the heart of our tradition by also adding some things to help bolster it. And I think this is a good attempt at that, for real. So I'm very happy with that. And there was something else I was looking at that I was going to. Oh yeah, in the chat, I see Chris was saying the new song at the end of the third quarter sucks. The Ohio song. I think I heard a little bit of it. I really wasn't a fan, but I don't know. I think it's a start. Maybe we can can
Wait a second, B. I hate to interrupt you, but so have
yeah.
they picked a new
It
song?
sounds like they did. Hold on. I think it's a band from here in Ohio. Let me go back to the soundtrack to Ohio Stadium. Um,
Now,
okay. Yep.
you sang earlier. You did a little Carmen, Ohio. Can you sing the Ohio song for us now? There, B.
I
Just kind of
I
give me
have no idea. I've heard it
it's
like
like,
once, and I was just like, I'm not feeling
oh,
this.
Ohio, we love you. We're really glad to be from Ohio, and it's
Yeah,
75
it's
degrees. No,
it's 75 degrees. It's 75 degrees. Like it is. We represent. No, but it says at the heart of this is a new game day anthem from Columbus' own camp, whose song Ohio will play in the first half of each game, set to a powerful visual tribute to the people and places that make this state home. It's a moment meant to stir something deep, a sense of place, connection, and gratitude. So hearing the song in itself, when I heard it, it wasn't my bag, per se, but maybe the visual with everything they show along with the song will kind of make it even better. But we'll see. Listen, on a side note, I know I'm not no major recording artist, but I am writing another anthem called "This Is Home." I'm almost done. I'm gonna keep writing, and I'm gonna push, push like Bjork. Listen, here's your anthem, bro. Here is your anthem to play in the stadium. It's called "This Is Home," and I'm born and raised here. And listen, I'm gonna make it happen. But yeah, anyway, I'm a pull this up. No, I can't pull it up because YouTube gonna flag it. I can't pull the song up. So I'm gonna send it to you in the text, Nevada, after the show.
yeah, but see, I wish they do. Again, I think it's great that they're trying to do like a local song or whatever it is, but like, I mean, how about like "This Town" by like Michael Stanley Band, or
Yeah, so,
something that
yeah.
where something where people kind of have a recognition of the thing already, and it's got, what I'm saying? Because just, having something, the Ohio song. I mean, okay, maybe it's gonna be great. Maybe it's gonna be great.
We'll see. But I remember earlier you brought up bands from Ohio. What about Ohio players? Fire. I
Oh, dude,
mean,
I love Roller Coaster. I could do that. It's like,
you know what
I
I'm
mean,
saying?
come on.
Yeah,
They
we
got
got some.
so many great bands,
Yeah.
from Ohio, man. Come on.
Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe we'll see. Maybe the reviews will come back and they just like, nah, we got to change this Bjork. But we'll see. Listen, I'm excited. There's a lot of great things. I'm gonna take another glance at this list. I know they talked about the moving the student section all into one section and not split up. I like that. I think it'll be more lit that way. The Blacko energy and all that stuff. But yeah, I think we pretty much hit the core of the things, and then the color outs, we've kind of seen that before. That's not really new. I mean, we've done the stripe stuff, and we've done scarlet out the shoe. That's pretty familiar. But the things we hit on are some of the newer things that I think are going to be things that pop, like the towels, the Archie ringing the bell, and also playing Hang On Sloopy throughout, not just one spot. But we're gonna see, man. I'm excited, man. This is exciting to see. how this is going to go down. And with this beautiful weather, a great opponent coming in town, Lee Corso coming here for his last stint. And somebody asked in the chat, is he going to put on? Actually, you know what? If that's in the super chats, I'll just wait and answer that in the super chats. Okay, it's not. But no, it is. So I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. That's the first super chat, Nevada. I'll get to that in a second. I'm sorry. I'm rambling. You got something to say?
No, I found the lyrics for Ohio. It's like, we have Donato's and the pizza's it's really, really good. And it's the old Intangi, but you can't swim in it because it's contaminated. But yeah, I mean,
and Buckeye Donuts.
Buckeye Donuts, we have Buckeye Donuts too, but the food at the shoe really sucks and it's expensive
and
and cold
overpriced. And the
and
bathroom lines are terrible.
overpriced.
wear a pair of Depends in the stadium or a catheter. All right, we're going too far.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yeah. Come on, man. Play the funky music. Play the funky music. White boy. Come on. Don't.
Hey.
You get that thing starting up. Everybody, oh, everybody just like be screaming, dancing and thing. I mean, that would be like, and they were dancing and singing and moving through the groove. Come on, let's go.
We got to have a designated white boy in the stadium, like
Come on,
doing an air
play
guitar.
that funky music, white boy. Come on. Come on, that would be like the greatest thing. That place would just like go nuts. And they're from Ohio. They're from Ohio. Trivia question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Which superhero is from the state of Ohio?
You talking about actually in the comics?
Yes. Which superhero is from the state of Ohio?
Do I have a lifeline in the chat?
Anybody in the chat? Superhero from the state of Ohio.
I'm going to guess. Okay, give me a clue. Marvel or DC?
I'm not going to give you that. I'll give you this.
Okay.
The person who played this character also played another superhero character. So he's one of the few people that's played two superhero characters.
See, now it's not Robert Downey Jr. because he played two superhero characters. Crap, man, I'm drawing a blank, man. Go ahead and tell me. I don't want to waste people's time.
It's the Green Lantern is from Cincinnati.
I did not know that. Now, what's the other character?
Well, Ryan Reynolds played the Green Lantern, and and he's Deadpool.
Deadpool, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. So
okay,
come on.
I wouldn't have guessed that. I'm not a big Green Lantern guy.
Yeah, well, nobody is, but that's why. You know what I'm saying? Green Lantern.
I'm not a big. I don't know Green Lantern as much. But that's interesting, and I'm more Marvel, but yeah, okay. You stumped me again with another freaky. Keep embarrassing me with these questions.
Next time all day, all day, man. I keep working on I got to stump B Moses.
Hey, I was good last night. I guess I answered. I forget what the question was.
You've been good.
Lately, but you got me on that one. You definitely got me on that one. So, all right, listen, let's go ahead and jump into these super chats, man. We got a few of them. So, Adams 9791, thanks for the 2. Will Corso's first and last headgear pick be Brutus? Yes, it absolutely will. That is my final answer. There is absolutely no way that it will not be Brutus at all. Like, come on. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not throwing off on you, Adams. I'm saying it's too obvious, right, Nevada? There's no way he's picking Bevo for his last pick when it started with Brutus. No way.
Gotta be Brutus. It's perfect symmetry, man. It starts with Brutus. It ends. It has to be that way. It has to be. If it isn't, he's really missing the mark, and they're advising him poorly. Because Lee Corso, I loved him when he, now it's kind of tough to watch him out there because it's really hard to watch a senior struggle like that. But please advise him to put on the Brutus head. It would be perfect symmetry and a great environment for it, and that'd be a fitting send off for him.
Absolutely. Yeah, so Adams, it's 1000% going to be Brutus, for sure. All right, Wrench Warrior DIY, what is up, man? What's up? Thanks for the $4.99. Thanks for being a Scoop Ultra member. Saying can make history. QBs in their first game against the number one team are 0-18. If any team can beat the odds, it's the Buckeyes. Now it's interesting that you brought this up. Was it RJ Young that pulled that out? Or was it who pulled that out? I forget whose preview I was watching, but I thought that was interesting. So here's my follow up question for that stat, Nevada, and I want you to touch on this because if you think about it, most teams it says QBs in their first game against the number one team. Now historically, we're already making history by this matchup playing the number one team, right? So to me, it tells me that there probably hasn't been in those 18 matchups a lot of big time opponents. It's probably been a lot of number one versus Mercer, number one versus Akron, or something like that. So to me, that stat seems to be skewed based off of that fact. I doubt that half or even less than that or more than that have been, number one versus number five or some big time matchup. What do you think about? You think I'm on the mark with that, Nevada?
Well, I think if we were stumping B Moses has stumped us back on this because that's exactly the right point. Because it's a selectively skewed stat because
Yes.
most of the teams are bad teams playing against the number one team. So of
Yeah.
course they're going to lose. You know what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with. I mean, I shouldn't say it has nothing to do with being a number one. A first time starter, but it's generally your team's overmatched. So this one falls into a special category. It's on the road for the number one team. It's the defending national champion they're playing against. And so I think this one falls in a special category. But yeah, I don't think that stat is quite as impressive as it would first appear.
Yeah, not at all. I mean, at first, if you just kind of like la da 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 da, just listening, doing stuff, it may be jarring to you, but nah, dig a little deeper. Eh, I'm not moved by that. All right, Iowa Buck, what is up? Thanks for the 4.99. Seems like no one is talking much about Tate making an impact in this game. I think he goes off and Bucks win by 10. So listen, I've been purposely watching previews. I'm interested in hearing, people's takes and stuff like that. But there was one cat with the film guys who did shout that out, talked about how much Carnell Tate ate versus Texas last year when they were focused on Jeremiah Smith. So I wholeheartedly agree that if they try to bracket him again and they put a whole lot of energy towards JJ Smith, which I expect them to do a variation of what they try to do. They know that we're going to try to combat that. I mean, we didn't do the best job of it last in the last game. So I still expect some type of approach with that. With that said, yeah, Carnell Tate is going to eat again. He's as solid can be. He's going to make catches. And again, we've been banging the Max Clare drum. So there's just weapons. We've added another experienced, proven weapon in Max Clare, reliable, proven weapon. And I'm not even mentioning all the others like Brandon Ennis, who I love. So yeah, absolutely, man. Go ahead and do that. Go ahead and put too much emphasis on JJ. That's fine. We're going to move him around. We're going to line him up different. We're going to make it hard for you to keep him down, but we're also going to make you pay with doing that, unlike we didn't do in the last game. And I'm telling you, I will die on that hill. Ryan Day, Brian Hartline, and JJ Smith have a vested interest in making sure they do a much better job with dealing with Texas's bracketing and their zone scheme and their, everything they're going to try to do to take away JJ Nevada.
Well, yeah, and again, last year was a home game for Texas. We're coming
Right.
off on a short week. Go out there and play and try to do what we had to do. We've had a lot of time to prepare for this, and Carnell Tate. And Carnell Tate's a first round draft pick. Carnell Tate's another guy who's going to go on and make $500 million in the NFL. So,
Right.
like, yeah, yeah. If you want to pay too much attention with JJ than Carnell and yeah, Max Curtis. Adding Max Clare, a first team All American tight end, to an already loaded pass attack is almost unfair. So,
Yeah.
and we had, I mean, before the Travion Henderson penalty, we were moving the ball at will against Texas,
Yeah, we were.
and when we needed it in the fourth quarter, we rolled down, got that touchdown. So it's not like we can't move it's not like we can't move the ball on these guys. I like our offensive line. I think we're going to run the ball more effectively than people might even know, and I think that's going to set up the pass. And so, lots of different ways to hurt them. And I don't know if we'll win by 10, but I do think we're going to win.
Yeah, and watch out for the tight end screens with Max Clear, y'all. I believe we are going to see at least one tight end screen, and I'm saying that because tight ends aren't the fastest, but he, per Coach Day and per our own eyeballs, is he can move, and he was called explosive with the ball in his hand by Ryan Day. So look out for a tight end screen, getting him in the open field with blockers in front of him, unexpected leaking out, with the defense's eyes on our receivers. Um, Look out for a big play for maybe 25, 30 yards or more on a tight end screen. I'm just randomly putting that out there for y'all to remember and come back to. All right. Mike Green, what's up, homie? Appreciate the 4.99. Always appreciate you. Listen, I respect everyone in our Buckeye spaces, but negative talk against Julian saying he's scary when the bullets fly, true or nah. I mean, we haven't seen it. We haven't seen it. All we know, all we can go by is what we have available to us. He was the number one recruit. He won the League 11. I know that's not bullets flying. I'm just going over his track record. Spring, fall camp, the players raving over him, the defensive coaches raving about him, being able to make all the throws, Matt Patricia raving about how he threw everything at him and he was able to take it on and do well and excel. And Matt Patricia is as multiple can be and has seen everything. So Matt Patricia saying that made me even more like, yo, you know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean saying is going to come out and be Joe Montana perfect and 20 for 20 for 800 yards passing. It just means that he has the tools, and I don't believe he's going to be scary when the bullets are flying, but we're going to see. The great thing is, Nevada, we will see in just a few days. What you got?
Yeah, I mean, look, I just seen this kid play for a long time, and he's just never backed down. He's never been afraid. He's been on undermanned teams before, playing against really, really good teams. And I mean, there's a reason why Nick Saban went across the country. He's the last quarterback that Nick Saban ever recruited him to Alabama. And Saban's got a pretty good track record, and Ryan Day went out and got him as well. So, and Bill O'Brien, we're good. So you've got three pretty good quarterback minds that are kind of bought in on this guy. And I think Julian's the truth, and I don't think he's gonna be intimidated. I don't. The moment's gonna be too big for him. I think he's gonna come and ball out on Saturday. Then we'll all see.
Yeah, and the great thing, real quick, as we move on, is that he has such a great cast around him. This O line should be as solid as can be, and he has great receivers and running backs. And in my opinion, we haven't seen the running backs yet, but I will guarantee you they are not trash. At the very minimum, they're solid to very good. Like I just refuse to believe otherwise. So what's around him and this coaching staff will help undergird him. So yeah, I'm not worried about him going out there, urinating down his leg at all. All right. Up next, Adams. Thanks for the 20. Also, can we not boo our own team? I understand that we as fans get frustrated, but when things go wrong, the players need to be supported. Yell LFG if you need to vent, but let's stigmatize booing our own players and team. What you got on that, Nevada?
I hate it. I mean, I know I've had fans tell me that they feel like they're inspiring the team by booing them and stuff like that. And I just think I think it's the ultimate boorish behavior when you do that. I think you got to stick by your team. I mean, that's the thing about being a fan. Like, you got to stick by your team in thick or thin. And we just, as Ohio State fans, we've been so spoiled. I mean, come on, we're coming off the freaking national championship. So
Yeah.
let's not have us go three and out and have the fans start booing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on, guys. Like, if we've learned anything, it's to never count out a Ryan Day team, because it doesn't get any lower than we all felt leaving that stadium after that Michigan game, and then come back and run the table and win the national championship. They've earned our trust, they've earned our belief, and I totally agree with you. I think let's take booing out of the vernacular for people, and let's be an intimidating, positive place for Ohio State to play in. So I totally agree with the point.
Yeah, and as far as I go, I mean, look, I've heard both sides. I've heard the argument, Nevada. that, these aren't kids anymore. They're getting paid. These are big time athletes. Suck it up, Buttercup. You got to take it. We pay all this money. I've heard these arguments, and I'm just like, okay, that's cool, but like, is that really the energy that you want in the stadium? I like basically, okay, let's say you got your right to do it and you won the argument. Cool. You have your right to do it. You're entitled. Is that really effective? I don't know. I don't see enough evidence of that to suggest that booing them over "Let's go Bucks, let's go Bucks," the whole stadium chanting that. I think that probably gives more fuel than the booing. In fact, I've heard players in the past bring the booing up, like, "Yo, that's not cool." Even not on the college level, but the NFL level. So I'm gonna go with a no. I agree, Adams. I don't think that's beneficial, even if people feel like they have the right to do it. So yeah. All right. Ernie Gonzalez, thanks for the 199. What recruits will be at the game? So there's a lot of names here. Shout out to Funky Buck. He has a thread on Scoop. There's a long list he keeps adding to. I mean, I'll just name a few. It's too long. Khalil Johnson, the O line, Cameron Wagner. You got names like Jameer Brown, our super, super elite wide receiver coming through. Jordan Thomas, the corner. Max Riley, the old tackle. You got Brady Edmonds coming. I mean, you got this looks like about over 40 guys on this list. Eric McFarland, Anthony Sweeney. I mean, there's a whole lot. So, yeah, I'm not going to read the whole list because it's just too long, but it's a lot of guys coming. And a lot of O linemen too. There's a lot of O linemen. I know people complain about why don't we ever bring O linemen on visits? Well, this one is loaded with O linemen. So with from the 27 class and 26 class, and one from the 28 class. So anyway, yeah, Nevada. Anything on the recruits coming?
Yeah, it's gonna be jam packed. I mean, this is you're gonna have all the stars. You're gonna have Matthew McConaughey. You're gonna have all the Wouldn't be surprised to see LeBron there. You're gonna. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
probably.
everybody's gonna be there. B Moses is gonna be there. Everybody's gonna be there, and yeah, and I think the last I heard it was like something like 50 plus kids
Yeah,
are bringing in. So it's gonna be a great show.
yeah, it's crazy.
all,
And
all,
again,
all, all the all the more reason not to boo, because if you think booing
right?
helps get recruits, it doesn't. It
Yeah,
doesn't. There's no way they're like, hey, I want to play there, with the place where they boo the fan. It's like, come on,
yeah,
let's go.
yeah. Not at all. Not at all. All right. Mike Green, thanks for the 199. Kevin Gates, I don't get tired. Sideline performed. Anything on that quote, Nevada?
Um, Kevin Gates, I don't get tired, sideline performed. I'm not familiar with Kevin Gates. I don't get tired. Is that
I've heard. I know what he's referring to. I can't remember where he said it, when and where he said it, but it's just basically he's just emphasizing, I don't get tired by using the quote. For those who know, but
I
that's
guess
his point.
okay, that's his point. Okay,
That's his
I
point,
don't
that
get
we don't
tired.
get tired. Like,
I got it. I like it. I like that a lot.
hey, amen. And that's what this crowd better be. Ain't gonna be
No,
no tired
no, no sitting down and
from the
waiting
first
your
snap to the
yeah.
end, because I believe this is going to be a 4-quarter game. I just believe that. So we're going to have stamina through this game to push through. So let's do it. All right. Charles Parker, thanks for the 199. Nevada, here you go, Nevada. You got to vote.
I'm
Nevada
telling.
sold me on Play That Funky Music, White
Come
Boy.
on.
All right.
Come on. That's it. I mean, come on. The place would
He
go
said,
crazy. It would go crazy if you did that.
yeah, yeah. I mean, listen, I'm all for it. That's more lit than
Because you
what
need
I've
that,
heard.
you need some sort of a banger, you need some sort of thing where people can. And the thing is, it's kind of like jump around, but like play the thing. Can you see people just like dancing that whole thing and just like that? You get the big multicolored froze on and you do the whole thing and you're doing stuff like that. And just like, I'm just like, it's going on, man. I feel that vibe so much, and that's an Ohio band. That's an
Yeah.
Ohio. See the Ohio connection right there, man.
And you know what? I mean, listen, Roger Troutman's from Ohio. I mean, look, they can even do a mashup. They can do a mashup, like you know how the DJ would do a mashup, like of different Ohio bands. You could do to play the funky music, white boy, and then fire. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, come on. Yeah,
So
Sugarfoot come out there playing the bass. Dum, 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 dum,
yeah,
dum. Yeah.
I
Oh,
mean,
come on.
listen, Bjork, go ahead, take notes, brother. Like, hit me up, whatever,
Yeah.
inbox me.
But we don't want Bjork. We don't want Bjork. See, you see, it was like a little reference to the Bjork band thing. Bjork. We don't want Bjork.
Yes, yes, no, we
Come on.
don't.
I'm on fire right now, man. I'm on
You are.
fire.
Listen, you got to vote.
I got a vote already, man.
Charles said, "Hey, you sold them."
Dude,
I think you make a fair point.
because that opening chord is just so distinctive. When that thing
Yeah,
came out there, like people just start dancing. The whole, can you imagine the entire stadium dancing? That would be freaking crazy. What a visual.
yeah, and you know what? I'm a I don't know, man. I'm gonna pull that up after the show. First of all, because I
Just
want
listen to
to.
listen to the opening like 10 seconds. It's just like it's
Yeah,
like so distinctive, and you're like, oh my god, the whole place would just go crazy.
because I want to visualize it. I want to hear it and I want to visualize it. But also, listen, y'all, as we close out, we're going to give you our review of the stadium atmosphere, the changes, what we felt, how we think it went over. We're going to give you our feedback. So this is one thing, and I'm going to visualize and listen and kind of like, hey, would this work? Because listen, man, you got to still be open. Some of this is trial. You want to see how it goes. Maybe some stuff is not as clean as you thought. So hey, maybe we'll be getting a call from the office at Ohio State about this funky music white boy idea. I like it.
Make me the commissioner of atmosphere at Ohio Stadium. I'll do it for free, Bjork. I'm offering my services. I've done this at some of the most successful minor league baseball stadiums in the world. I would have this place banging, and I would have play the funky music.
I need to clip that. You've done it about 13 times.
Come on, so
I gotta clip that. Nah, but that's dope, man. All right, let's see. So that's it. That's it for the super chats. Wonderful show. Had a lot of fun as we always do. Chat lit per se. We got Nevada back over here reliving his young days in the club.
Oh man, I was in the club. No, I was 12. Man, I was 12 years old. It's like,
well, okay, yeah, I kind of lost track of the years. Or I'll say at the middle school dance. What was that? You sixth grader at the time? Fifth grade? I don't know.
I was doing the bump. Do the bump. Do the bump.
Oh man, we done took it back. That is hilarious. Listen, tomorrow will be 4 days until kickoff. We got a lot of great numbers for y'all. We're getting closer, y'all. We're excited about the kickoff versus Texas in a few days. Listen, man, let's get it. Get excited if you ain't already excited. Go Bucks. We love y'all, Buckeye Scoop family. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.